Alright, okay, yeah, so previously I covered about Jeffrey Epstein, the guy they call a billionaire hedge fund manager. And first of all, hedge funds are basically con games. Uh, they're criminal fraud, and they're just pyramid schemes, and they're just a way to extract money off of people. That's all they are. So there's that crime, which is what what's our so-called government is allowing. But Epstein is in the news again. He's been arrested for sex trafficking. Now, I just found out that there was a woman back in 2000, late 2002, into early 2003, where she was covering the sex trafficking when she was working for Vanity Fair, and she was shut down, basically told, because Epstein walked in and talked to the editor, and basically they dropped the story. And two of the women who were supposed to be in the report ended up being told that they couldn't, that this woman, Vicky, I forget her last name, couldn't use them. So I've talked about that. Alex Acosta, who is now in Trump's administration, he holds a high position in his administration. He was the one responsible for getting Epstein off the last time by committing outright crimes. Now, this is something the FBI has said, and others have said. So, this is our government. This is the criminal conspiracy that our government is allowing. And so this is why I keep saying, whether they are Democrats or Republicans, they are all criminals. Whether you're an independent, you're a criminal if you allow these sort of injustices to happen. Justice is only blind and fair when there is no bias and there is no corruption, when there is representation and not politics. If you're a politician, then you're a criminal. So, anyways, I'm glad to hear that Epstein is being arrested. They're basically calling for no bail and no bond, and that they want him in jail so that he can't run away. What I now would like to see is Alex Acosta be arrested as well, and for the crimes he committed. And I'm sure that if Acosta is looked into, that they're going to find that he is a criminal out and out. But that may be asking for too much. So I'm glad to hear about that. But there's this other story. I forget what state. I think it's Alabama. A pregnant woman who's a black American, was shot in the stomach, and because of the laws that they passed in that state, and I'm not completely sure right now because I can't recall whether or not it's Alabama, but Alabama is one of the states that passed the new basically these new abortion crackdown that basically penalizes women and criminalizes them for wanting to have control over their bodies. Now, this poor woman was shot in the stomach by her co-worker, and because of the law, they charged her with manslaughter, even though she's the victim. And anyways, they were trying to put her away in jail, and so on and so forth. Fortunately, it seems that there's another court that basically said, no, I don't think so. But that's still ongoing. But this is the sort of stuff that that the politicians are pushing and allowing. So, and just another example of inequality and racism that's just utterly rampant, as well as every other spectrum of crime that can possibly be perpetrated on the public. So understand something. These criminal legislation and policies are going to come back to bite you in the ass, whether you're a minority or not, because these people are not ideologically aligned to white supremacy and because they're there's that old saying that that I'm an equal opportunity offender, and that means basically they don't care whether you're white, they don't care whether you're German or French or what. They care about lining their pockets, getting more influence, and they care only about themselves and those whom they get money from. That is how it works, and that is what is being done, and that is just outright criminal activity. So, as I said, whether you're an independent, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, this is what they're doing. And I don't care if you're black and you're in the House of Representatives. I don't care if you're Indian. I don't care if you're indigenous. I don't care if you're Asian. You are criminals if you allow these injustices. And you stay quiet about it. And if you are not screaming to the hills, if you are not coming out and calling other quote-unquote lawmakers what they are, criminals. This is why the media, the establishment media, whether it's TV or press, are criminals, because they are fostering criminality. So you have that, and then you have the Supreme Court. Again, I just did a video on it. The Supreme Court basically, it's a bunch of criminals who have basically made it so that they have made it so that the public cannot vote for the good of the country. And the country, as I say continuously, the country are the people. These criminals have made statutes and rules and regulations that basically make it so that they can do criminal actions and they are not liable for them. So, they are criminals. You got corporations and wealthy doing committing crimes against the country. So, as I keep saying, we need to get militant. And the plain fact of the matter is that these criminals will not change their ways. They will always find some way to to gather in power, to gather in influence, and to get money for themselves, unless we get forcefully militant with them. This is why the media continually pushes nonviolence. This is why the media continually talks about, and whether it's independent media, independent social media, or in the establishment media, this is why, and the centers of quote unquote education keep pushing these narratives. Why? Because it's to make us toothless. While and the politicians, the criminals, why they allow things that seem good and are good, but in return they're doing policy and legislation to take the teeth out of it. I am a fervent believer in prosecuting and penalizing those who have power. I am a fervent believer in that. The average person can make mistakes and can be heavily influenced by policy and narrative. But those are coming from the top. And so the biggest criminals, the most dangerous criminals, the most radical criminals are those who hold power. Whether it's a corporate board with its CEOs and the ultra wealthy funders who basically embezzle money, who basically have created wage slaves and so on and so forth, who have turned us into nothing more than peasants and serfs and slaves. These are the top class criminals. I've been trying for some years now to get into office. Not because I want to, because I need to get into office to correct all of this. So once again, I'm going to try running for, try to get on the ballot to get to be the governor of Pennsylvania. But I've made on a previous video of how one person cannot do it. So I'm going to try to run again, but I need others who understand what I'm saying, who want actual justice, who want actual equality, who see who the criminals are. I need them to come with me on a single platform, not running individually, but as a group. I need to fill all the positions that are that can be people can be elected into, whether it's city council, whether it's town municipals, whether it's the courts, whether it's Senate, state Senate, or state house. I need sheriffs and police chiefs. I need it all filled. I need the state attorney, the district attorneys. I need all of them filled, and I need us all to stand together and say, this is what we want. This is what we stand for. This is how we're going to get it. And this is what we're going to do for it. And one of the things I say in my videos is that when that happens, I and all those who stand with me, who are for actual representation, who are aware of the crimes, this whole word of corruption, it's like, you know, they did a white lie. It's not a white lie. It's a crime. It's a felony, what they're doing. So, I say that I will have cameras on me that record everything I say, and all those who stand with me will have the same 24/7. No matter where we are. I could be in the bathroom taking a dump. I could be in my house. It doesn't matter. That is what we need. True transparency. No backroom meetings. No nothing. Everything is done out in the open. A C-SPAN coverage 24/7. I don't care who the hell you are. You want to bring your smartphone in and record me, be my guest. But this is what we need. True transparency. The theft, the pillaging and plundering of the people is at an abysmal, apocalyptic level. And we have to put a stop to it. We need to have health care that is not just accessible, but completely and utterly free for all and equal for all. We need to have an education system that is free for all and equal to all. We need to have vocational training that is free for all and equal for all. We need to have small business policies that promote small businesses that are local. We need to have communities that are not redlined. We need to have communities that get equal funding. We need to have safe drinking water. We need to have safe air, safe food. We need to have all of that. We need to have equal opportunity for all. And that is what it is. Because that's a democracy. We shouldn't have companies dictating how things go. We need to have cooperatives where the actual workers have a democratic system for businesses. So these are the things that I want. I want to completely overhaul the legal system. I want to completely overhaul the legislation and policies and statutes and regulations, which have basically made us nothing more than commodities, not even citizens or people. So these are the things that we have to do. These are the things that must be taken. We must take the utilities away from private control and put it into the public trust. We must have schools that are equal for all, that are based on peer-reviewed studies and historically accurate information. That is what we need. That is the only way we're going to move forward. That is the only way we're going to survive. Because the politicians and the businesses and the big corporations are, whether they are doing it knowingly or unknowingly or just simply don't care, they are trying to kill us.